Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand about the sensitive input variables. So how to protect the sensitive values using variables, okay, using input variables we are going to look into, right? So the reference subfolder is going to be v10 sensitive input variables. So if we go here, c1 versions.tf is going to be as is, and in c2 variables this AWS region variable is going to be as is, and c3 rdsdb. So we are going to create a rdsdb resource with the db username and then db password. So both of them are sensitive here. So using the input variable sensitive concept, means like sensitive is equal to true, right? So using that, how Terraform is going to protect those things, it is going to tell. So it's not a 100% protection, but at least it is going to save in different ways, okay? So when using environmental variables to set sensitive values, keep in mind that those values will be in your environment and also in your command line history. So if you see in your command line history, so those values, whatever you have exported, is going to be present. You have learned that here. So when we have completed that step, right? So if you go up, right? So see, after I have completed setting those values using the environmental variables, I have unset them also. But still, even if I unset them, still it is going to be in the command line history in my Linux machine, okay? So like this, when you are dealing with secrets, so there will be multiple ways to deal with it, right? So if you use this way, you have those issues, okay? So when you use sensitive variables in your Terraform configuration, you can use them as you would any other variable. So in variables, you can make it as sensitive is equal to true, and then at that point of time, Terraform will redact that variable in command line output and also in the log files. And if you are trying to call that variable somewhere else, okay, using in outputs concept, which you are going to see in your upcoming lectures, or anywhere if you are going to reference that variable, so then Terraform is going to error when it is referenced there, okay? So like this, when you make your variable as sensitive is equal to true, so it is going to have very good amount of benefits for us, okay? So if you feel like any variable is going to be a sensitive one and then has the sensitive information, so then add the tag inside that variable as sensitive is equal to true, so that Terraform will redact these values in command output and log files and raise an error when it detects that they will be exposed in any other ways inside Terraform, okay? So that is one thing. So let's go back and then see what we are going to create now. So we are going to first create the variables for db username and then db password, okay? So let's create those variables. So control space and then variable and db underscore username. So as usual, so we'll have the description saying AWS RDS database administrator username, okay? And type is going to be string, okay? And we are not going to define the default value for this or anything, okay? So this variable definition is done here, okay? So one more variable we are going to define is db password. So let me copy this, right, and paste it here, and I'll say db password, okay? I'll say password. So now this is a plain variable. So if you want to make it sensitive, so then enter and control space and then sensitive. Default is false, so let's make it true, okay? In the same way for db password also, control space sensitive and then make it to true. So now these two variables became sensitive. So Terraform knows that these two variables are sensitive, and it is going to redact the values in command output and log files. In addition to that, it is going to raise an error when it detects that they will be exposed in any other ways inside Terraform, okay? So that's about these two variables definitions. So now we are going to define the RDS database resource, okay? So now let's go here and say control space and resource AWS underscore db underscore instance, okay? So this is going to be the RDS DB. So I can say db1 here, And the parameters, you can start with allocated storage, so it will be 5 GB, and engine you are going to use, okay, so it can be MySQL for us, and instance class, okay. So these are some of the important things you can define. db.t2.micro, and name of my database, okay, so name is going to be mydb1, okay. And now you can define your username, right, and then next is password. And also one important thing is skip final snapshot to true. So I'll say here skip final snapshot to true. So these are the things. If you want more information about this resource, so you can click on this link and you will find the details here for defining these things: allocated storage, engine version, instance class, name, username, and then parameter. If you want, you can use the parameter group name also, okay. So for now these will suffice for us. Now the values for username are going to be var.db username. In the same way, for password we are going to reference var.db password, okay. So this completes the creation of AWS DB instance, but we didn't define we didn't define these username and then passwords. So now we need to define that, okay. So to define that, we are going to create a file named secret.tfvars, okay. So or something, okay, db passwords.tfvars or db credentials.tfvars, whatever it is, okay. So I just said secret.tfvars or secrets.tfvars. I'll make it as secrets, okay, secrets.tfvars, and inside secrets.tfvars, so we are going to define the db username and then db password, okay. So let's go back here and then get the db username here and then put it here, and I'm going to provide the value as admin here, okay. And in addition to that, we'll also get the db password variable name and put it in this tfvars file, okay. So and I can give some plain password here. I can say insecure password, okay, and then save it. So this completes the creation of the templates, okay. So the next step here is to initialize, validate, and then run the things, okay. So never check in this secrets.tfvars to git repository. Why? Because this secrets.tfvars has the values here, so never check in this to git repositories, right? Secret information is provided here, okay. So now let's that is one important note here. So let's go back here and clear, and I'll say 05 and 0501, and inside that we are dealing the 10th section, sensitive input variables. So we'll run the Terraform init now, and we'll do the Terraform validate and move on to the next steps, okay. So let the initialize complete, and we'll do the Terraform validate. And next thing is, if you want to, you can run the Terraform format. So I have put in the documentation every time. If you want to run format, you can run it, okay. So I really don't need that, but I'll run it, okay. And both are formatted. So now Terraform plan, okay. So if I run the Terraform plan, it is going to ask for the RDS username and password directly in the CLI, because I didn't define any default values. So either I can give here, or I can pass whatever the var file I have defined here, okay. So what I will do is like a Terraform, and then I will say var hyphen file is equal to, I'll say secrets.tfvars, okay. So file name I have given is secrets.tfvars, so the same thing I'll give here, okay, secrets.tfvars. So now if you see here, it is going to add one resource for us, AWS instance.db1, and if you go here to the password, right, sensitive value. So in the Terraform output or in the log files, it is going to redact that information and tell that it is a sensitive value. In the same way, where is it? Username also, it's a sensitive value. So Terraform is telling us in a detailed manner. So the next step is to go ahead and then create these things. Okay, so Terraform apply hyphen var file is equal to secrets.tf vars. Okay, and now it will go ahead and then create the AWS RDS DB for us. Okay, so I'll say yes, I'll confirm it, and it will go ahead and then create the database instance for us. Okay, so let it create. Why we are creating, we have a reason for it. Okay, so whatever the information, right, so whatever the information it is going to create, it is also going to store in the state files. Okay, so Terraform state files contain values for these sensitive variables in terraform.tf state file. So you must keep your state file secure to avoid exposing this data. So this is the important thing. So but in reality, in the production grade environments, anyway we are going to have this terraform.tf state files in a remote state storage. Okay, so that in upcoming sections we are going to do it with S3 and then DynamoDB tables. But when you are dealing in local, then it is always important to know that in terraform.tf state file, this sensitive variable information, what is username, what is password, will be stored. So you must ensure that you keep these state files in a secure place. So that's about it. So let the DB get created, and we will see the state file and then see what's going on there. Our DB instance got created. So we really don't need to go inside and then verify that here. Our core focus is about the Terraform state file and then whether it is storing the sensitive information or not. So let's grep password and then terraform.tf state file. Okay, so you can see the password, insecure password, whatever you sent, it is present inside that. In the same way, you can username and then do it. Okay, so you have the username information also. So in terraform.tf state file here, so you have the insecure password is stored here, and also you have the admin, which is nothing but username is stored, okay, which you made it as sensitive. So ensuring that this file is secure will save our credentials in a safe place. Okay, so that's about it. So this completes the sensitive parameters, sensitive input variables demo. Let's go ahead and then destroy the resource and then clean up the stuff for us. Okay, so let me do this, Terraform destroy, and then we also need to provide the var file is equal to secrets.tf vars. Okay, so this should delete the database instance it created, and we'll also clean up the files whatever is present there. RDS DB instance got deleted, so let's also remove the .terraform folders and also .terraform.tf state files here. Okay, so with that said, we will leave it with C1, C2, C3 and then secrets.tf vars. I will also remove the backup folder. So this completes the protect sensitive input variables section. So in our next lecture, we are going to learn about variable definition precedence. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.